This armor set takes 300 hours to get, and here's why. In the most recent Hypixel Skyblock update, they added a new type of fishing called trophy fishing. If you watch my Sweat co-op series, you would know that I started dabbling in the art of trophy fishing. One of the reasons to do so is because it allows you to access special sea creatures and even some special items. One of these items is this armor set that takes 300 hours to get. But how exactly do you go by unlocking it? Well, before that, please consider subscribing cause at 80k subs I'ma do something cool, I don't know yet, but feel free to leave suggestions in the comments. And now let's get straight back into it. One thing you need to know about trophy fishing is that there are 18 different trophy fish, all which have unique requirements in order to be obtained. Of these 18 trophy fish, there are 4 different rarities they can come in, this being bronze, silver, gold, and diamond. In order to get this extremely rare armor set, you must fish up each trophy fish at the diamond rarity. It might not seem that bad until you realize that trophy fish only have a 0.2% chance of being diamond when caught, and some trophy fish by themselves are already incredibly rare. The calculations for how long it would take you to do this is quite complicated, but luckily for you, I've gotten the help of some high level fishers to guide you through the whole process. First of all, when you catch a fish, the game will check to see if you meet any of the requirements for a trophy fish, and then roll for them in order of decreasing rarity. In other words, it will roll for the rarest and then roll for the most common. If none of these are successful, then it will just give you normal fishing loot. Knowing this, the first thing we need to determine is what is the optimal amount of trophy fish we can roll on our first cast. After talking to some sweats, we agreed on rolling for 7 different fish. These being the gusher, blobfish, lava horse, manta ray, steaming hot flounder, flyfish, and volcanic fish. Without going into the details of how to obtain each one exactly, all you really need to know is that you can roll for all of these same fish at once with one cast if you make sure to set yourself up correctly and fish in the volcano. This will be known as the first loot pool. After you finish getting everything in the first loot pool, you can move on to the next one. In the second one, you will only be going mainly for one fish, this being the obfuscated one fish. To obtain it, all you have to do is use the corrupted bait and fish. The reason we're doing it separately is because this bait actually reduces your fishing speed by 50%. This is mainly bad, but sometimes it can actually be useful. For example, the slugfish is a fish that is only caught when the bobber has been up for 30 seconds, so then it can be useful, but we will actually be focusing that more in the next loot pool, so let's get on to that. In the third loot pool, you only roll for the slugfish and nothing else. The usual methods require using bad armor or missing a cast on purpose, but I was told of another way that is even better. As I said previously, to catch a slugfish, you need to have your bobber in the lava for at least 30 seconds before catching. One thing people figured out is if you use Ember Armor to turn the lava into obsidian and then throw the bobber on top of that obsidian, it actually counts as being in the lava, but it won't ever get caught. So then all you have to do is wait for around 30 seconds, switch to your main fishing set, the obsidian will go away, the bobber will fall into the lava, get bitten instantly, and then you can easily get a bunch of trophy fish that actually had the roll for slugfish. The only problem is it kinda takes a decent amount of effort to do, but I assume with practice it'll probably become a little bit easier. Once you're done with that, you will head to the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th loot pool. The reason they're all grouped together is because they are very similar. Each one focuses on a biome specific fish. So all you have to do is fish in each biome until you get that designated fish at diamond rarity, and then you can move on. The biome specific fish I'm talking about are the skeleton fish, soulfish, karate fish, and moldfin. And now for the final loot pools. They're a little bit different than the others. These loot pools target the obfuscated 2 and obfuscated 3 fish respectively. The problem is that to catch these fish, you need to use the previous tier fish as bait to do so. For example, to catch obfuscated 2, you need to use obfuscated 1 as bait. In order to get a bunch of obfuscated 1s, you can use an item called the Totem of Corruption in combination with normal sea creature fishing, and this will actually get you about 5 stacks of obfuscated 1s an hour. Sadly, for obfuscated 3s, the only way to get the bait for it is just to fish a bunch of obfuscated 2s. There's nothing really else you can do. However, once you've done this, you will be good. Or are you? If you kept a keen eye out, you might have noticed that I only mentioned 15 of the 18 possible trophy fish. The reason why is because you can get the other 3 fish while going for the other fish. For example, for the vanilla fish, you can actually use a rod swapping strat, which bypasses the requirement using kinda a glitch, but it's not that bad and most people just do it anyway. The other one would be the sulfur fish, which all you need to do is fish near sulfur, so you can just do that during one of the other pools. And then finally, the golden fish, you'll probably just get it eventually if you're going to be fishing for so long, so you don't even need to worry about it directly. But now that you know the actual process behind it, let's actually get into how long each pool is going to take, and then how long the entire thing would take. For simplicity, I'm going to assume that you have the best fishing setup, obviously excluding the diamond tier armor. This setup would consist of gold tier trophy fishing armor, an ammonite pet, 2 hellfire rods, one with trophy hunter 10 and fishing speed 10, and the other one with trophy hunter 10 and fisherman 10. And finally, both of them would both have flash 5 and fish bait. For the first pool, statistically, it should take you 9,565 casts to clear the pool. Therefore, it should take you about 19 hours to do so. The second pool will take you 1,607 casts on average. However, the bait will make it take slightly longer, so the final time will be a little bit around 4.5 hours. The third pool will be a bit lengthy because of the slugfish, and it will require 3,342 casts, and because of the 30-second requirement, it will take around 37 hours. The 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th pool will each respectively take 28 hours, 56 hours, 28 hours, and 28 hours, making it by far the hardest pool to finish. Finally, the 8th and 9th pool will require 5 hours and 7.5 hours respectively of just fishing. However, this does not include the amount of time you will need to grind for the bait to catch each of these obfuscated fish. For obfuscated 2, it will require about 6.5 hours of grinding to get enough bait, and around 42 hours of grinding to get enough bait for obfuscated 3. Adding all the time together gets us 261 hours, but due to people having normal reaction times and lobbies closing and a bunch of other things that can make it so you don't do everything robotically, I would more likely put it around 300 hours, and I bet most people would agree with me who are top fishers. If you really like fishing, I guess there's nothing stopping you from doing that for 300 hours, but personally I have some self-respect. Well, thank you guys for watching, and that's basically all I've got for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Later!